Struggle, knowledge, growth. Well, what do I mean? Well, we all struggle, right? Man and woman struggle against nature. So I'm from a place where a woman named Katrina came and changed my life. And I heard that y'all got some snow up here recently, right? So we all struggle against nature, right? Well, man and woman, we all struggle against each other and against the world around us. So whether it's the struggle against slavery in our country at its founding, the civil rights struggle, or even the fight for liberation against colonialism in India. And then, of course, there's the hardest struggle, the one in our own life, right? Whether it's our struggle against poverty, against drug addiction, against lack of self-esteem, against lack of self-worth, against whether it's jealousy or laziness. We all have an internal struggle that we will hopefully engage in our lifetime. Struggle is to teach us a lesson and to bring knowledge into our lives that will allow us to use that knowledge to transcend the struggle and to grow from it. But the challenge we all face is that nobody likes to struggle, right? I mean, anybody here, raise your hand, like to struggle? Anybody say, I could sure use me some struggle right now? Raise your hand. Anybody? Anybody like to struggle? Exactly. Because struggle can be hard, it can be long, it can be tiring, it can be disheartening, and it can be downright painful. But we all must engage in struggle, not only outside of ourselves and in the world around us to make it a better place, but also those that are within us that will teach us lessons, give us knowledge, that will allow us to become better individuals, that we may contribute to humanity in meaningful and powerful ways. Any attempts to escape, hide, run from the struggles in your life will stagnate you and will hinder what you can learn and ultimately keep you from growing. Now, what does this have to do with being rooted in the past, right? Well, as I mentioned earlier, we all are here and around the world are the sum total of our past. This means that we must know our past, know our history in order to be rooted in it. This brings us to the knowledge component. The only way to know yourself is to know your history and the history of your people. So I'm African American, right? Therefore, it's my responsibility to know the struggle and triumph of my people in order to fully engage who it is that I am today. It's my responsibility to know about the dynasties of ancient Africa and the kings and queens that ruled and helped found and build civilization. It's my responsibility to know about the Middle Passage and the horrors of slavery, the slave trade, and the underlying philosophies that led to the enslavement of African people for 400 plus years. It's my responsibility to have the knowledge of the struggle that ended slavery, the war that was fought to end it. It's my responsibility to know about the black codes and Reconstruction and the Renaissance. It's also my responsibility to know about the civil rights struggle, to know about the NAACP and CORE and SNCC and SCLC and the Black Panther Party and Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and Marcus Garvey and the Black Star Line and Bayard Rustin and Ida B. Wells Barnett and Fannie Lou Hamer and Huey P. Newton and W.B. Du Bois and Harriet Tubman and Sojourner Truth and Garrett Morgan and Matthew Henson and Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass, to name a few. Any names that you didn't recognize, it's your responsibility to go find out who they are. Each of us has that same responsibility to know the story and the history that precedes you. It is responsible for making you who you are right here, right now. Why is the knowledge of these people, places, events, the work, the struggle that was done important? It happened before we got here. It's important because you and I would not be who it is that we are without them. This knowledge roots us in our past and strengthens us as we fight the struggles of today, both inside and in the world around us. You must know the struggle in order to fight the struggle. Now, does our responsibility end there? Not a chance. Good, not a chance. We've talked about the struggle. We've talked about the knowledge and the responsibility we all have to know. But there's one more component, and it's probably the most important, and that's growth. Once you have the knowledge, you then have the responsibility to grow from it. You must take the knowledge of your past and engage the ever-present struggle that humanity faces to eradicate those things which prevent all of us from full participation in society and having the most fulfilling life we can. Whether it's fighting for equal rights or social justice, against poverty, against violence, against discrimination and prejudice, or as I do in my work at College Summit, fighting to ensure that all students, no matter socioeconomic status, race, creed, color, have the tools that they need to chart and plan a course for their lives after they leave high school and go out into the world. You must find your place in the struggle, in the